really grinds my gears.
So now we've come up to part 8. Now part 8 is going to be fairly simple. Now I'll be showing a different bleed build later on, but we want to talk about ongoing directive. The reason why is because a lot of people think that the ongoing directive, the perfect sadist, which is the carnage, versus any other type of weapon is better, which with the reload speed that the carnage has, it's not bad, but it has horrible stability and accuracy. And because you're not able to land your shots as easily compared to some other weapons that you would use on there, it's not always best in slot. Now, there are multiple ways to put together a ongoing directive build, but a lot of people want to say, oh, SMGs, oh, ARs are good. Honestly, it's not bad to put any one of those on. I wouldn't use an SMG personally because you got to be close and personal, and it's not always best for the build. If you want to do AR, that's fine. By all means, go do AR. But since you're going to be making use of the contractor's gloves to get that damaged armor, which helps status, you might as well try and put on the LMG and play from a little bit farther range than, the other ones. So again, this is totally player's choice on the weapons you want to use, but which one makes it more vital. So first, let's go over the actual build. Now, using the crossbow will help your teammates out, of course, but the chest piece is controversial. Now, I have potentially misled y'all because somewhere along the lines I was told, and I never really worried about the chest, that the chest piece versus this chest piece and say one with like this right here, Obliterate was giving me 25%. Well, I honestly never really took a look at it because from what I remember, it used to be 20%, and somewhere along the lines they jumped it up to 35. I can't remember where, and I wasn't informed this, and someone told me about it a while back, about a month or two ago, and I realized this. I was like, oh my god, yes. So I have misled y'all, but the chest piece would give you more than Obliterate. So that is my bad when I was doing this. So we'll be utilizing the chest piece versus Obliterate more than anything now. Now, setting it up like this does help out the build. As well as if you were to say want to use a chest piece, you could use the Ridgeways and then throw on, say, your ongoing gloves and trade that out so that we can have the Wicked proc. Now, you don't need to put status effect on here like Identity said. That status effect doesn't help. So we put anything crit chance, crit damage, whatever you prefer, as much as you want on there to help the bullet damage. Because the status effect just keeps the duration on it longer and just increases it from, say, about what we'll see later on, about 30k or 39k up to somewhere around 50, 60k. So status effect doesn't help. So we're going to test these two weapons out, the Carnage and the military RPK. Now, again, as you can see, the accuracy and stability is higher than on the military RPK. Faster reload, which also means we're going to land better bullets than the Carnage. So first, let's see what the damage is. So we're in 349 on the chest, and about 466 on the head. Yeah, 466 on the head. So let's see what the Carnage does on chest shots and head shots. 236 on the chest, and 316 on the head. So again, the Carnage is not best right here for damage. Now, once we get the Sadist bullets on here, that will change it because we're going to get 5% more damage using the Perfect Sadist versus regular Sadist in comparison. Now, a lot of people want to do damage to health, which they're not wrong. It gives better damage against Chongas and tanks and Warhounds, things of that. But the damage to armor helps out the status effect damage, so you're better off doing that on a status or bleed type build, is putting damage to armor. Let's get these bleed bullets on here and we'll show you the damage numbers afterwards. Okay, we got them all on there. Cool. And again, also having LMGs on this gives you a lot of bleed bullets. Like, we got almost 100 if we were to have a full max stack. So that's a lot of bleed bullets. And again, I just also demonstrated you don't need to have a bleed on. As long as you put them on status, you get the bleed bullets either way. So you don't need to bleed them first. So we're hitting 667, 892. That's pretty high, 892 for a headshot. And that's with the military RPK, 892. All right. Let's see, and the bleed effect is 39149. Now, another thing I've been seeing is a lot of people think that the more damage, like the perfect status versus the other status, gives more bleed damage, which is wrong. So 630 was the head, yeah. So again, yeah, the Carnage is decent, but it's not that much more stronger than the military RPK, and you get more accuracy. So again, we also have a different one where we're using the same thing with the Ridgeways and this. Now, a lot of people like to use it this way. So these two weapons are actually pretty neat to use on this build, so we'll demonstrate those as well. But if you're going to use the Ridgeway, that's going to give you the automatic bleed, so you get the bleed bullets and so on, and you get the armor regen, but we lose a lot of damage, as you see. 699. So, is it best on the build? No, but it does help it. So if you want to do a regen, that's fine. But here's the problem. Because you also don't have a whole lot of status effect, the status doesn't stay on there long enough to give you that much armor regen unless you're bleeding multiple targets. You see we've got one out there. It doesn't give us anything, and that's about 12 meters away, maybe 13 or 14, and these two are, and as you can see, bleeding 2 targets, it's not enough. See, the bleed is pretty much gone from them in a few seconds. You're only going to get about half your armor just by bleeding 2 targets, so it's not that great for close and personal. So on this type of build, you definitely want to put as much armor onto it and maybe run a SMG, but if you're killing them too quick, the bleed doesn't help you anything. It literally doesn't help you out at all. So, is Ridgeway's chest piece on this good? Personally, no. It's really not. So now we come to the blue screen versions. Now, everybody wants to find a way to make the blue screen work really good, but I'm going to show you the Pestilence as well. Everyone wants to say the Pestilence tick is status effect. Again, I've showed before, it's not. We're going to show again. Look, it's not. No Wicked, no nothing. But another thing that people say is that Wicked, because it doesn't proc that way, that it doesn't increase the Pestilence tick. Okay, let's try this. 236, 236 is transferred over. Let's just go ahead and max everything out best we can. Let's see how much more. We're about halfway there. Okay, keep transferring over. That's about full tick. So we're at 690. Let's see when it transfers. Yeah, 690. Okay, let's see what happens when the Wicked goes away. 690. And it jumps down to 585. So yeah, it does lose. So Wicked will help the Pestilence tick get more damage, even though it does not help the initial part of the Pestilence to get the tick. That is the biggest misconception anybody has ever said on this, and I don't know why they keep misconstruing it. So again, here's the blue screen, so we can also get some status on them to get those bleed bullets on the blue screen. So all we have to do is just pulse. We don't have to do anything. We could even drop a chem launcher, we could riot foam them, we could do whatever, and as long as we get the kill, boom, we get Wicked, we get the bleed bullets onto this, which gives it even more status effects, which is really nice because it doesn't just give it the concussion and the disrupt, it also gives it bleed. That's a great way to use the blue screen. That's what I've personally been doing. I haven't seen anybody use that on here so far, but maybe someone has put out a video like that using the blue screen on ongoing directive. If not, hey, here you go. Another great idea to use it with. But again, we can just keep pulsing and then getting the damage, you know, pulse other enemies nearby, get them shut down and concussed, and bled at the exact same time. So another great way to use the blue screen. But if you're going to use the blue screen, I would suggest with this, trade the gloves off, put ongoing directive onto the glove area, keep your Seska backpack, and then go get the Night Watcher like this. This way you can pulse, and it'll be pulsing every 8 seconds. So if you need the pulse, the fast pulse or something like that, you can pulse an enemy, see where they're at, bleed them, and so on and so forth. That way you can also keep the damage on the chest piece, you can keep the damage on the backpack, and basically pulse and see they're disrupted. You can get your bleed bullets that way, and then you get the cooldown, the extremely fast cooldown on the scanner pulse. Now this won't work greatly in conflict, because the scanner pulse doesn't work like that in conflict, especially even using the mask. So again, this setup was more PvE and dark zone based setup like that. But let's just turn off this skill haste to show you how fast we'll get the pulse back, and we can get the bleed if we needed to on the targets. So we would scanner pulse, boom, we could get it back, and let's see how fast it comes back. 9 seconds. So every 9 seconds you could keep disrupting and so on like that with this type of build. Plus the ongoing directive is going to give you more status effect damage, or damage and duration, things of that nature.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!